This is lesson 1.2, everyone. These are the main ideas from your text. We're talking about what we call an order of operations. The word P stands for parentheses, and many of you have heard this expression when you were in high school. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. P for parentheses, E for exponents, my dear for multiply and divide, and Sally was add and subtract. So here we have a set of operations. In mathematics, everybody does the operations the same way. That's how we can make sure that we are in agreement with the answers. It wouldn't make sense, for example, for some of us to read a book from right to left and the others left to right. It would be very difficult to translate any book if everybody had their own way of reading the text of the book. So we agree on certain rules and we follow those rules so that everybody understands what everybody else is doing. A calculation will only have one correct answer. The dot is often used in place of the x when multiplying. And the reason is we do not want to mix up the letter x for variable with the letter x for multiply. The word evaluate will sometimes be used in place of calculate. Here's an example. As you could see, you have 18 plus 4 times 5. 4 times 5 must be first because it's higher in the order of operations than addition. And so we now do 18 plus 20 and you get 38. Let's do one together. The parentheses must be first. 12 minus 9 is going to be 3. And then this is going to be 3 times 3 and then 8 in front. We also know that multiply comes first. So we have a 9. 8 plus 9 is going to be 17. And so this is an exercise in making sure that you do the calculation in the correct order. Here we have two letters, K and the letter N. We are going to replace the K here and replace the N here. It's going to look like this. 4 times 2 plus 3 times 6. The dot means to multiply. I didn't want to use an X because it might be confused with the letter X, an unknown. We do the multiplications first. The one on the left first, the one on the right second. 8 plus 18. If I do the arithmetic here, I want to get 26. And you're done. On this next example, we follow the same thing. We're going to replace the letters A and B and C with numbers. And then we are going to evaluate. That means to compute. So let me use a different color of ink so that you could see what I am going to do here. And I want to put a parenthesis around the letter C so that you can see that the number is replaced with the number 1. A and B are going to be 3 and 6. 3 for A, 6 for B. And the letter C would be 1. Well, parentheses must be first, the one on the left and then the one on the right. 3 plus 6 is going to be 9. But notice you have a square up there, and then you have a minus 2 times a 1 here. The order says we must do the exponents before we can do the multiply or the subtract. 9 times 9 is 81. 2 times 1 is a 2. Now we subtract and we get an answer of 79. It's important that we know our times table. Yes, I know Many of you have used calculators throughout the algebra course, but in the TSI, it's going to be different. You have to know exactly what you're doing and be very sure of what you are doing is correct. I would recommend that you keep your calculator usage to a bare minimum so that you can practice all those very important arithmetic skills. On this one, it looks complicated, but all we have to do is put the k here, and the n value here. Well, what's it going to look like? Well, let me make everything in place here, and then I will replace out the numbers. 2, and then what I'm going to do is put a k value would be 5. That's going to go here and here, 5 here and here. And the letter n is going to be here. Well, all I have to do is exactly what it said before. Parentheses first, and I'll go for the top. On top, I'm going to have 5 here, 3 times 5, plus 3 times 5, over 2 times 5. Well, the top is going to be 15 plus 15, and the bottom is 10. 30 over 10, that's going to be the number 3. Now take a look at the last one. This is a formula, and it has been shown that this Fahrenheit and Celsius formula is a very popular item on the TSI. I'm going to take the 20 degrees Celsius, and I have to put it right here where the C is, not where the F is, where the C is. So this is what it's going to look like. 9/5 times 20 over 1 plus 32. It's important that we have our arithmetic skills in place, especially the fractions, because some of the calculators that you will have to use on the TSI does not have fraction capability. So let's see what we can do here. 5 times 1, 5 times 4. We can cross out the 5's. And we get 9 times 4 over 1 times 1 plus 32. 36 over 1 is 36. And that's going to be a total of 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That concludes lesson 1.2 again. We were talking about the order of operations. We were talking about some examples where the parentheses must be done first, exponent second, multiply, divide third, and add and subtract fourth. And we went through some of these examples in this one. So everybody, that's lesson 1.2.